Hi guys, Bolts96 here, but the O is a 0, and with the Premier League starting, I have decided to take a look at all of the Premier League home kits this season and have graded them to see who comes out on top. I have also decided to put this all into a league table to see if it was all based on my opinion on the home kit, who would finish top and who would get relegated. Okay guys, it's going to be a fun one. Stick around to find out. 20th, Brentford, E. I've seen people rate this shirt, but I'm sorry, I just don't like it. There are only 3 colours in the shirt, but it still somehow looks like there is loads going on with it. Too much. Red and white, thick stripes being bookended by black stripes, and then a red one which runs up to the neck. No. Not for me at all. I will give them credit though for making a betting company sponsor look passable on the shirt, and I can never knock the badge, which is a classic and will always hold any of their shirts from dropping too low. But they are getting relegated. Chelsea, D-. I have seen a lot of hate for this one, and I don't entirely get it. It isn't an absolutely horrendous shirt. It just isn't a very good one. The shiny effect on the badge and Nike symbols are a weird choice. The white underneath the armpit is naff, and the shirt itself is all just so solidly one tone and bland that it doesn't make it look like a matchday shirt at all. Also, they do get downgraded for somehow trying to market this very modern looking shirt as a 90s inspired kit. It simply isn't. In fact, the more I speak about it, the more I've convinced myself that it isn't a good kit. I'm downgrading it. This is an E. Chelsea, this is an E. 18th, Brighton, D+. It isn't the worst kit in the world, but I'm just not feeling it at all. The colours are eye-catching, with the blue being a very nice tone, but I don't like how the stripes round off at the top of the neck, and the big block of white in the middle to accommodate the sponsor is a massive shame. The dark stripe of blue on the sleeve isn't too bad, to be fair to it though, so give it a little bit of credit there. 17th, Spurs, C-. Classic Spurs shirt, this one, and that is actually why I'm giving it a lower rating. It is just lazy. The shirt in 21-22 was purely plain white. Then in 22-23 they put blue trims with a yellow line through the middle of the collar and sleeves. Now, in 23-24, they've just removed the collar trim and the yellow line from the sleeve trims. There is nothing wrong with the shirt itself, which is clean, tidy, and won't kick up a fuss. But it is just so incredibly lazy of Nike, and it is actually a bit of a joke to the Spurs fans that they are expected to spend £80 a year on such minor changes. 16th, Newcastle United, C. This Castor shirt actually isn't a winner for me. It isn't awful at all, but it's just pretty boring. They've made the stripes thicker and put one right down the middle, which I don't particularly like, to be honest. It is clean, I suppose, and the change in sponsor looks better on this one. The main saving grace for me though are the collar and sleeves, which are a smart, sort of simple, and round the shirt off nicely, but as I say, considering it's Castor and I really like their kits, this isn't doing it for me. 15th, Sheffield United, C+. This is one of the new boys now, and it isn't a bad kit. It just isn't an absolute stunner. Same colours as the Brentford kit, but they've been put together in a much nicer fashion, and the collar is very, very nice. I don't usually like thick stripes on football shirts, but the thin black lines separating them are a very nice touch on this one. Currently in a sponsorless state, we'll see how it looks once one gets whacked on the front. 14th, West Ham United, C+. I sort of like this one, but not enough to give it any higher than a C+. It is the third claret and blue kit on the list, and it is the dullest one out of the lot, really. There isn't a lot wrong with it, which is why I haven't gone lower, but it's just plainer than the others. Although the bubble effect is very, very different, and I quite like that, to be fair to them. It's not the best, but it certainly isn't the worst. 13th, Aston Villa, C+. Again, we have a pretty nice kit here, which seems to always be the way with Castor, as I was referring to before, who've really hit the kit game strong since they've got involved. The contrast to the claret and blue are always classic, and they have been used very nicely with this one. The V-neck is a nice touch, and the pattern on the body of the shirt works pretty well with this one. The new badge also looks brilliant on the shirt, but the very unsightly BK8 sponsorship ruins it. And the weird line across the sleeve just feels so random, which is why I can't give it a higher grading. 12th, Bournemouth, C+. It's just a bit plain, isn't it? And the Dapperbet, as with any betting company sponsor, does not sit well on the kit at all. However, the classic red and black stripes are nice, and the tone of the red does give retro AC Milan vibes, which you can't complain about. The sliver of a red line either side of each black stripe is also a nicely little touch put in there, but yeah, it's just a bit simple, which isn't always a bad thing, but this one doesn't stand out for me. 11th, Burnley, B-. As with the Villa grading, I am a sucker for claret and blue kits. I think the colours just look so classic when put together and are quite a big part of British football, to be honest. I know I've seen a few people saying this is just a West Ham kit, but you can't do too much with the claret and blue really, and I like it. There we go. The colour has been done smartly with this kit, and the claret trim on the sleeves is a very nice touch. Not to mention that the sponsor doesn't look too out of place on the front either. It doesn't quite stand out above the rest, but it is definitely the best Umbro kit so far. It just looks smart all round. 10th, Everton, B-. This entry is from one of the other standalone kit manufacturers in the league in Hummel, and they've done a decent job of it. The retro design with this one is a win, and it does work really nicely. The white collar and trim around the sleeves stand out from the deep blue base colour, and all round it looks pretty smart. But, and it is a big but for me, the strange pattern on that collar and sleeve trim doesn't work. I find it pretty poor. It's supposedly a callback to the pattern created by Goodison's architect, but it just looks so tacked on and out of place, particularly on the collar. If it was just the sleeve trim, I'd probably give it a pass, but whacking it on the rim of that perfectly good collar is a poor do. 9th, Nottingham Forest, B-. Adidas with another solid kit here. It is very simple, but it just looks smart. I think as soon as you put those 3 Adidas stripes on a piece of clothing, it instantly makes it that much better. The shirt in its current state without a sponsor does sort of look like one of those plain Adidas training tops you get off M&M Direct, but it is nice and I do rate it. 8th, Wolves, B. Looking at the Wolves kit, and it is the latest kit to be revealed, and it's a funny one for me really. Technically, it is the exact same design as the Newcastle shirt, but the 2 slightly different tones of yellowish gold for the fixed stripes just makes it look smarter in my eyes, and the same collar sleeve combo stands out a heck of a lot more on this kit than it does on the Newcastle one, considering they are comprised of black and white stripes. I like it, man. It's cool, it's clean, and it's a winner. 7th, Liverpool, B. Yet another kit going for the retro look, and this one does work for me. It is very simple, which is typical of Nike shirts, but it just looks clean and stylish. The white trim on the collar and the sleeves stand out boldly from the deep red main colour and makes the simple shirt work. As a fan, I often look at football shirts and think, how would I look wearing that in the pub to watch a game? And you know what? I think this one would look pretty good at that. 6th, Manchester City, B. It is not good enough to be treble winners. They've also got to have a really nice kit going into the new season. Simple but smart are the words I'd use to describe this one. As is the flavour of the season, this is yet another retro feel. And once again, bloody works. The simple pattern keeps it from being too plain, and the old school collar gives it a unique detail that separates it from the other kits in the league. The baby blue is also nice, although I think if they just turned that shade dial ever so slightly darker, it would have made it better. Having said that, it is a really nice shirt though. 5th, Arsenal, B. We have a very nice kit here, which is typical for Arsenal. They always bring out the nicest looking kits, and they have done a good job with this one. The red and the white has been put together nicely, but it is the gold accents which are the difference maker with this one for me. Giving a bit of a Real Madrid vibe, the gold really stands out and looks top class. It does almost feel like the gold was picked because they thought they were going to win the league though, which could just be bad fortune, but it does give that impression considering the situation. And I think the jagged lines in the middle, although aren't awful, are unnecessary, which brings the grading down to a B for me. Fourth, Crystal Palace, B+. It's different and I really like it. The half and half split has been done nicely here with two very bright contrasts of red and blue, with a subtle white detailing down the middle to split the two sides up. The silhouette within the base of the shirt is also a callback to the original Crystal Palace, which is an excellent touch. Classy. Fair play to Macron with this one. It is bold and definitely catches the eye, which is a positive for me. Third, Luton Town, B+. The best kit coming from the new boys for me. What a kit to wear in your first season ever in the Premier League. This overtakes the Burnley kit for being the nicest Umbro kit this season. The orange is classic and so striking to the eye with the phased in white strip down the badge side of the chest, giving it that extra detail. A few bits of navy blue slotted in here and there is a smart choice, and the faint pattern within the body of the shirt is very nice. This shirt is a belter. Second, Fulham, A. Now, this is a winner for me. The base white looks clean as it is surrounded by the black tapering and sleeves, with those classic Adidas stripes sat on the shoulders. The addition of the red within those stripes is so nice, and it stands out a treat. The only thing I would say is that I would have personally liked the red to be on both sides of those stripes rather than just the one, but it still looks stunning the way it is, and I am not downgrading it for that at all. Chef's kiss to this kit. Mwah. First, Manchester United, A. It really does pay me to admit it, but this is a bloody nice shirt. The dark red is so brilliantly striking, accentuated with the black Adidas stripes and the sides. The rose pattern surprisingly works nicely, and that collar, absolutely majestic. Fair play to Adidas for this one. It's a beauty. And there we have it, guys. That is how the Premier League would pan out if it was based on my gradings of your team's home kits this season. If you liked what you watched, please do remember to like, comment and subscribe, and let me know down below what you thought of my picks. And check me out across all my socials. I am on Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok and YouTube, where you're watching this video, all under the same handle, Bolts96, but the O is a 0. Thank you very much for watching, guys, and I'll see you on the next one.